Boom! And we are live for the watch along for the F1 Qatar Grand Prix. And I'm joined by our Mr. Saturday, the Pedro. Hello, man. Right, sorry for the late start. We were intending to be here a bit earlier, but long story short, I had family turn up in the last minute, so we are very late getting going. To give a very brief overview, I'm going to be relying on you on this one, Pedro. I know there's a lot of rules regarding the tyres. Do you want to give a quick synopsis of that?
Yeah, so the FIA ran some tests, Pirelli ran some tests on the tyres. So they've said that each set of tyres can only do a maximum of 18 laps. And if the drivers exceed that limit, they are black flagged in the session. And with this rule, it means that mandatory free stop should be done today. Yeah, so the FIA's obviously a few drivers have already used a few sets of tires, so the amount of laps that they can do on those sets have been adjusted accordingly. And also Carlos Sainz won't be able to take part in this race due to a problem in his car, which Ferrari wasn't able to solve. And I'm not sure about Checo, but from what I've heard, he should start in the pit lane. And considering he exceeded the amount of spare chassis that can be used in the season, he might also have to serve a penalty during the race. So,
Not I suppose, yeah, it would usually be a grid penalty for those sort of things, wouldn't it? Because,
yeah.
But usually what happens is you start from the pit lane, it kind of annuls the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll see. I didn't realise there was a limit on chassis. I thought it was a limit on components rather than the tub. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
It's new.
neither did I, to be honest, up until today. But yeah, I think he was going to have to start from the pit lane anyway because of changes. I presume he had to probably change some components on his car.
Mm-hmm.
And he might also have a penalty added to it, which is ironic considering what he did at Suzuka to try and avoid getting a penalty from this Grand Prix. And now he might have to serve one anyway. So,
He's got one penalty instead of two.
yeah.
You can either start from the pit lane or you can start from the pit lane twice. It's that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Red Bull finding the loopholes in the rules or managing to find their way into loopholes by mistake. Okay, that's about right. Okay, so... Hey Jack. Midnight Born on Sunrise and Pedro from the ghetto was up. Nice. But we are here for the start of the race as they're lining up. There is talk of there will be at least 3 stops?
Yeah.
And some talk of 4 if the teams go aggressive. And, well, we've got the Mercedes in 2 and 3 with Max and Pole. So we're going to see. I mean, we might see a sprint Grand Prix.
Yeah. I'm going to go on board with Alonso for the race start, actually.
Good call. And we can see there's a gap there from where Perez should have been. Okay, so lights are going. 2, 3, 4, 5 lights.
Oh, I'm ahead of you for
They're
a few
off.
seconds.
It's alright, as long as there's only a few. So yeah, Max has got a good start. Although the Mercs are both on the back. Oh, for God's sake, guys.
Oh, oh no! What are they doing? That's both their races over in turn 1. Oh my God, they're going off the track.
Well, that's going to be a safety car. That's at least a safety car.
It's still the yellow flag, so I'm not sure. Oh, did they manage to keep going?
Well, one of the tyres came off from, I think, Hamilton's car. And hey to Flapsters.
Hi, Flappy.
Okay, Russell says he's got damage.
Not damage.
Yeah, I miss you too, Flappy. But it was Hamilton on the outside there, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah. He started P2.
Initial first look, I would say that was Hamilton's fault. Yeah, Hamilton was in P3.
Wait. No, wait, because if he's starting...
Safety car.
Yeah. I mean, if it was on, if the driver was on the outside, it most likely had been. Well, it's probably Hamilton. Yeah, he's out.
Yeah. Oh, nice one, Flappy. Yeah. Okay, so it is the tyre that's come off, not the wheel, but
Yeah.
he's beached. So.
It's such a silly way to win the race as well. Like, why would they go that defensive and that close to each other to turn one anyway? Especially considering their teammates. Like, have some sense. I can't believe that.
That's going to make highlight reels for a long time.
That's the thing, like, he didn't even make it past turn one. He just stayed at the middle of turn one. And this is good news for Perez, actually.
Yeah, very good news for Perez, who's still last, but he's now last on the back of the pack. So, okay, Russell's in. What do you think? Front wing?
Well, probably. I can see because the image is quite... Well...
Oh, it might be floor damage then.
Most likely floor damage, yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, a very slow pit stop for him there.
Doesn't matter under safety car.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Maybe he had a
Let's have
puncture.
a look at the replay.
Okay, yeah, here we go. Because Hamilton's on the left, Russell's on the
No,
right.
Yeah.
From my initial look of it, I think Hamilton has squeezed Russell.
Hamilton's got a little bit close there. Goes round the outside.
That's...
I think that's kind of more Russell's fault than Hamilton's. But I think they
Good. We have a
to blame.
on board from Russell. This is what we need to see.
Russell.
This is what I was hoping
Yeah.
to see.
I mean, Lewis gets very close to him up until this point. And
Yeah.
then,
Oh, that looks like Hamilton's just misjudged it. I'm gonna stick with my initial judgment. I think Hamilton's misjudged it, and he's just not. His rear tyre's collected Russell's front tyre. Russell's constant.
yeah, and then again, Russell didn't have that much place.
No, Hamilton's gone for it. He's on the soft tyre.
Yeah.
It's a racing incident at the end of the day, but it's a bit silly.
Yeah, it's just unnecessary. Oh, and they made sure to point that out. Taken up by my teammates. I don't know really.
Now we're seeing it from end on. This should tell us exactly who caused it. So Russell's coming wide. Russell didn't move.
No. Yeah, I don't know because I think Russell could have probably gone a little bit to the right, but it's not like he had much more space to go. So I think this contact is kind of inevitable in the way that it was set up. So.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Hamilton's rear suspension. Well, no, it's just it's a delamination straight away. It looks like. I don't know if his suspension's broken or not. It doesn't really matter. He's out. But anywho, hello to Flappy and hello to Jack. Sorry about that. It was a very chaotic beginning, but welcome you, gents, and it's good to see you again, Flappy, and well done for the raise. So he's getting a raise at the end of the month. Awesome. Okay, so from Piastri's point of view, so he's probably going to jump maybe Alonso and Leclerc here.
He's in P2 at the moment.
Oh! So he's jumped all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good news for the race as far as I'm concerned. It's not good for Hamilton. Oh, I'm sorry, Hamilton, but that was a little bit dumb. I mean, he obviously had the grip, and he was going for it, but I think he's misjudged it by about 6 inches or so. Not by much.
He should have gone a little bit wider. I think he had a lot more space on his outside. I know it wouldn't have been the ideal line, but then again, you're going for a move like that. You kind of have to be a little bit more sensible, and judging those things. Really.
Yeah, I would agree. Jack says, anyone feel like ever since 21 Cup, Max's aura is just gone? You may have to explain what you're on about there, mate. But if you mean like the surrounding of Max, like his personality, is going to be depending on what you're meaning. I mean, my personal view is I've never liked Max that much, but he's an outstanding driver.
Russell went on the radio and said, "So sorry, guys. I wasn't even looking behind. I was just focused ahead when he came from nowhere."
Well, from the driver's point of view, bear with me a second. Okay, I'm going to use a prop. I'm going to use my first prop. As he drops the headset, Russell is looking. He's aiming at the corner. He's turning right and looking right, and Lewis is over there. And as far as I could see, Russell's not jinxed the wheel, and therefore gone into Hamilton. It is definitely looks like that. Hamilton's got much more grip, and he's misjudged it.
Yeah.
If anything, it's a little bit like the opposite problem. Do you remember Silverstone when Max and Lewis came together?
Yes.
It kind of reminds me of that, but in that instance, it would have been Max with the much more speed. So, okay, it looks like a load of cars dropping in the pits. I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're already serving one of the mandatory pit stops, but then again,
It's lap
they're
limited.
limited on the amount of laps they need to do, then, it doesn't really make much sense, does it?
Well, it's one of those things. Laps behind the safety car, as well as racing, are counting as exactly the same, aren't they?
Yeah, I believe so.
So, if they were on soft tyres anyway, which we know degrade about 15 laps thanks to the sprint race yesterday, get rid of them, go on a fresh set of tyres, go the full 19 laps. What is it, 18 or 19 laps they can do?
18.
18. You've got a full stint there.
Yeah.
So
I actually need to check that table I sent you with the tires that each driver has.
Yeah.
And the amount of laps they make.
problem is,
Because I think, as you said, I think this only makes sense if they use one of the tire sets they started the race on during the sprint as well.
yeah. And we promise we don't know what set of tyres they're on. Okay, so safety car is in. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you on this one. Safety car is in. Hulk has had a warning for incorrect starting position. We're about to go green, and Jack has just said, "I'm always going to support Max, but this constant win stuff is boring. Let others jump in and make it exciting." Agreed, but we've had the same thing with Schumacher, Hamilton, loads of other bods throughout the years, and it's Max's turn. It won't be this way forever.
Yeah.
But Max is gone already. Jesus. He's so good at those restarts.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of
He just
practice.
knows exactly what to do before he gets to the point on which he actually
Yeah. And he's broken DRS already. Although, it looks like Piastri is picking up a distant toe. He is catching him. So it's not over. If Piastri can stay with him for a few laps,
Yeah.
we shall see. Well, Perez has just got past Russell. Russell must... Okay, now I get it. Russell was at the back, and now Bottas, Magnussen, Stroll, and Lawson all pitted. So,
They all fit.
oh, Russell and Perez.
What is
So this is going to be Carnage Grand Prix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jack says, can Max ruin Lewis's record? Yes. Yes, he can.
What you mean?
Total wins and win streaks and records. Like pole positions and podiums. Win streak, yes, but championship streak rather. Excuse me. But yeah, he can do it. Whether he will, it's another matter.
Yeah. Right, so there were a lot of people massively benefiting from that carnage.
Absolutely. And hello to the crazy syrup guy. Welcome to the watch along. Okay, it looks like they've all spaced out a bit more now. I mean, there's only one really obvious overtaking spot around this track, which is what they're on now.
Oh, look at that, sorry for it.
Yep. Good. Do you know what? Hulk's been on fire this weekend.
Yeah, it has.
Although he nearly did what Ocon did to Perez yesterday there.
Yeah. I mean, he was also involved in this as a victim.
True. So
But
Hulk.
Russell has gone past Perez.
Oh. Oh my. Well, Perez is on the hard tyre, so
He's on the hard side.
yeah.
So Russell is probably on a fresh set of mediums because he still have them.
Chat says, if Max doesn't exist, say, win the Cup next year. One of the McLaren boys, potentially. Yeah. I know you're a fan of Piastri. And,
They keep this trend.
yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
and considering McLaren are getting their new wind tunnel on, I think, okay, here's Hulkenberg. He's a little bit far forward, yeah, 5-second penalty, I reckon. And Crazy Strip Guy's watching the F1 98 season. So that'd be the one where Hakkinen won his first championship.
Yeah.
The Crazy Syrup Guy says Ferrari next year. Ooh. So we've got a couple of votes from McLaren, one for Ferrari. Interesting.
Ferrari has been very inconsistent. If they can get their act together.
That's my problem with Ferrari, is the consistency. And for someone who's called themselves the Syrup Guy, that seems about right. Consistency of it. That works out quite nicely. Right, so Russell up to P13. Everyone on medium tyres with the exception of Perez and Lawson. So we know we're going to see at very least Verstappen, Piastri, Alonso, Leclerc, Ocon, Norris, Gasly, Hulkenberg, basically everyone from Zhou upwards, who's in 12th, pitting by at least lap 18.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to know which tires are they using for the start.
Okay, so here, what's Nando done? Has he had a moment? Someone dive bombed him?
Oh, oof.
Ooh, the rear end just let go around that. Was that the final sector triple right-hander?
Oh. It caught me off guard there. I don't know, probably.
Well, he's
I
now.
think it was, yeah.
Well, he's still third, so he's not lost a place.
Yeah. Leclerc is dangerously close to being in the RS range.
Yeah. The one driver I'm disappointed with, and I'm using that in air quotes, is Norris at the moment. I was expecting to be a bit further forwards. I know he started low down, but still. And Syrup says, hey, I have a bad record of picking teams to support in F1 from college. From F1, college football, NFL, American football. Yeah. I've always got a habit of going to the team that I like just as they go down the pan. So, me and you both. I like a good underdog, though. So, McLaren it is for me at the moment. I'm not a hardcore Ferrari fan, but I do appreciate Ferrari tremendously. For me, it was always McLaren and Williams that I grew up with. And you're a die-hard Ferrari fan. I do have a Ferrari shirt around here. It's up there. I'm not going to get it now. But, yeah. Oh, Russell take us a dive bomb on one of the Alphas. Was that Bottas? Or was that Zhou? I mean, it would be Zhou, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Joe kind of left the door open, so.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Zhou knows he's in an inferior car. It's like, if you hold people up, all you do is you ruin your own race.
Yeah.
Right, so Piastri has fallen back 2 seconds from Max.
Yeah. Leclerc is in the RS range of Alonso, so let's see what happens there.
I thought you said McLaren. You said Leclerc, didn't you? I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I misheard, sorry.
No worries. Russell has gone past Sargent.
Oh, so Russell's on the move with his new set of tyres.
Yeah.
Okay,
Probably the fresh test.
yes. Absolutely. Okay, so it does seem a lot of the drivers are getting a 2 second gap to each other. That's possibly dirty air, and also it's worth remembering that this is a desert track, so it's hot. So maybe they are having a little bit of a breather gap to allow the engines to stay cool.
Let me have a look at the track temperatures and stuff.
That would be a good idea, actually.
So track temperature at the moment is 36.8 degrees.
Air temperature?
With air temperature is 31.5.
It's not stupid, but it's hot enough, isn't it?
Yeah. And the wind isn't that strong either. 75% humidity, that's gonna be... Oh, Sonoda, he's spitting already.
It could be that he's ran out of laps on those tyres.
Let me see if he has any. Well, he has 2 new sets of mediums,
Well,
and the other 2 sets of mediums he couldn't use. So
well,
it's strange to me.
well, at this point, he's going to probably on a 4-stopper, isn't he? So that's not good for Sonoda. But they've introduced this rule so late in the weekend. It's awkward.
Yeah.
Anyone who was out in Q1 might have a big advantage. I mean, I quite like the idea of that rule. If they would make it a semi-permanent fixture, it's like you're only allowed to use tyres for a certain amount of laps and whatnot. But hey, that's a whole other thing that we can discuss after the race. I'm just happy that Piastri is keeping Verstappen somewhat honest. He's only 2.5 seconds behind him. But I would hope Piastri and Norris can sort of come through the field, or at least catch up to Verstappen and make it difficult for him.
Yeah. Well, Norris is getting closer to Walker.
Russell's on the back of Albon. Norris,
Spitting.
yeah. I think Russell's going to be leading the race in about 5 laps.
Probably.
Syrup says, by the way, I'm replaying all the F1 games from 1996 to 2012 with Michael Schumacher. Oh, we're obviously going to have to miss out 2007, 8 and 9. I was actually considering playing a full season on the N64 F1 Grand Prix at some point. But I played it once for about 10 minutes a couple of months ago, and I was like, oh god, this is awful. Anywho.
Well, you want to go like old F1 games, I think. Is it F1 Championship Edition or something? From EA that they did like from 98 to 2001. That game apparently runs pretty well with the mods that people have developed for it.
I hadn't thought of that.
You know, that could be very interesting.
Well, I like Syrup doing that. Are you streaming that as well, man? Okay, Verstappen pitting on lap 17 at worst.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
think we might only see the softs for like one of the latter pit stops. Otherwise, it just doesn't make much sense, does it?
I think it's going to be... There was a Grand Prix in Canada in about 2012. No, 2010, 2012. It was somewhere around there when the tyres were just shredding, and they were doing 10 laps on tyres, and there was like 4 or 5 stops for some people. So it's all going to be completely down to the fact of how many laps they've got on these tyres. I mean, Leclerc's coming in.
Yeah, it's coming in.
I think we're going to see 4 stops for most drivers.
Yeah, most likely. Piastri is boxing as well now.
Okay. So, if McLaren have played it right, they may be able to undercut Max a little bit.
Nice, yeah.
Uh,
Probably.
Depending on how many laps Hulk's got on his tyres, we may see Hulkenberg leading a race.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
So Russell on the back of Albon, I'm looking at now.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah.
Same move as he did to control.
And the same we did to Piastri yesterday.
Yeah.
He likes that move.
I mean, it is probably one of the other places where you can go for that actually. A bit slow on the right rear though, Oscar.
Yeah, not great, not terrible. Leclerc's half second quicker. And Syrup, are you streaming yours or uploading them to YouTube? Because I'd happily watch that. In fact, definitely going to give you a shout out because that sounds good. I don't know if it's going to play a clip or not, but
K-Mag has gone past Lawson. Lando is pitting this lap.
okay. So, Russell's got Hulkenberg. I looked away for 2 seconds. I missed that.
Oh, you know what? I don't want to jinx it, but Sargent is doing quite well today.
That is a bit of a jinx. Syrup, what are you playing on PlayStation? You can get yourself a cheap capture card, and there's something called an August capture card or a CAM capture card. As long as you have either HDMI out or something to convert RCA to HDMI, you can then capture it. So, if you want any help with that, drop me a message on Discord and I'll show you how I do it. So feel free to drop me a message on ye old Discord.
You're on my Discord.
Right, so Norris in, Albon up to P3. This is going to be a chaos Grand Prix. It really is.
Oh, Joe P4 and Perez still hasn't gone past him. Lando just about.
Right, Sargent and Hulk both went in as well.
I think he actually gained some time on Leclerc by doing the overcuts. Ooh, Hulkenberg, 14-second pit stop.
Front wing, perhaps.
I don't know.
So Russell and what's that? Hulk.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Russell has got some, as James Hunt would say, balls on him to do that, hasn't he?
Oh, Alonso.
Yeah, Alonso and Leclerc.
Inside as well. Nice move, that.
And Sarah, if you need help specking anything for that, just feel free to drop me a message. I'll quite gladly help you. Right. So Max is going to be in within the next 2 laps. Russell's not as close as I thought he was going to be. 16 seconds behind. I thought he'd only be about 10. Oh, Russell's in.
What?
Maybe that's all those tyres had in them in terms of laps.
Well, he did have 2 tire sets on 13 laps, so he could have done 13 laps on 2 of those mediums, and another one he had 9.
Yeah, quite right.
Not sure. What tires did they switch to?
Medium again, I think.
So he's already done 2 out of the 3 pit stops then.
Yeah, but it's still limited by laps, isn't it? He's got to be on a 4-stopper, technically. And Crazy's currently watching the 98 Belgian Crash Fest.
Oh, Lando.
I remember it well. So it looks like Red Bull have pulled a blinder with Max. I mean, them keeping him out for as long as possible at the first stint has given him clear air, knowing that everyone's going to pit. So he's going to pit ahead of everyone without coming out without traffic. Piastri's had to fight through traffic every lap he's been on new tyres.
Perez has finally gone past Joe.
He's going to have to pit soon. Both those guys are going to have to pit soon.
Yeah.
Right, Max.
I mean, likely.
Yeah. My crystal ball says Max will be in next lap, and he might have enough of a gap to come out in front of Albon.
Okay, so this means Perez has used the only tire set of parts that he had So we can go until lap 18, and Max still has another set of mediums with 17 laps and a fresh set of mediums to use.
Yeah, it looks like Piastri's lost out massively in the traffic. Both of the McLarens have. How long's the pit stop here? Is it 25 seconds?
I believe so. But still, Norris gained a lot of, well, gained roughly 2 seconds on Leclerc by doing the overcut.
I think it's all general. Who's got the clear track?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Syrup. Yeah, that Belgian Grand Prix is multiple red flags. What should have been more red flags throughout that race as well. Just watch the Verts crash into the pit wall
Wait, when did Albon get to P2?
when Russell pitted.
Oh, so he was okay. So he was already. Never mind.
Mm.
Oh, so Max is gonna have to pit this lap.
Yeah. So depending on the pit stop length, and if Albon stays out, we may see Albon lead a lap. Which is the first time for Williams since God knows when.
Yeah. I can't remember when that was happening.
No. Okay, we've got Leclerc on the back of Hulk. Oh, I know why Hulk had a long stop.
It was K-Mag.
Okay. Yeah, I know why Hulk had a long stop. Penalty.
Oh,
He had a penalty for the start infringement.
how long was that penalty then?
Must have been 10 seconds.
Damn, even then, Haas's pit stop was awful.
Thank you, Crazy. Crazy just said he would rather watch Jarl commentary over Crofty. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And we're trying not to use cliches like he does all the time, or constantly get the names wrong. I do it occasionally, but not as bad as him. Right, so here comes Max. That will be potentially Albon into the lead of the race, depending on how long the pit stop here is. It seems to be a long
26
pit lane.
seconds.
So he should just go into the lead
Yeah.
if he doesn't pit.
See, yeah, he's not gonna pit.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna have to pit either on this lap or the next lap.
Yeah. I think Albon's going to lead a lap.
He's leading.
Woo!
Leading.
Not for long. Not for long.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if Albon doesn't pit this lap and technically doesn't count as a lap led. As long as you all don't say Hamilton will win this Grand Prix. Well, he might if he comes back and unlaps himself 18 times. No, it's not possible. Leclerc and Norris are dicing, I think, into turn 1. You see them switch places a couple of times. Okay, yeah, Albon's coming in, so that's not going to be a lap lead for Albon.
Yeah. Oh, Piastri. That was a cent and a half on Bottas. It's a very nice move.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Fully committed there. That was a nice move.
We may very well see a race where the fastest cars on track today don't do that well. Because it would be whoever's got the tyre life. Well, not even that. It's the tyre lappage.
Yeah. Is Stroll gonna pit this lap as well?
He's
Or
got.
are they just instructing him to get out of Alonso's way?
We may see a double stop from the Alfa Romeos. Joe and Bottas.
Under the safety car.
Oh yeah, I think he did. I think he did pit under the safety car. Excuse me.
But then again, he's on 14 lap of mediums. Let's see, did he have any fresh sets of tires? He has. He has a 17 lap, like medium tire set, and an 18 lap. So I presume he's.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, what happened there?
Norris and Leclerc almost collided in turn 1.
Oh, I just saw that.
Ooh.
But it was a much needed move from Lando.
Yeah, he needs to get on with it.
2 more positions.
Yeah, but he's making his way to the front. We might get a 2-3 from McLaren again today.
Yeah. He's getting close to Stroll as well, who's probably going to have to pit either this lap or the next lap.
Yeah, absolutely.
He also pitted under the safety car, I believe.
Oh, there we go.
From a set of mediums to another set of mediums.
Got the two
Around the
Astons.
outside.
Yeah, I mean, okay, it looked a lot closer from the other angle. And that's the same thing that Hamilton tried to do to Russell and ended up, unfortunately, botching it.
But that's the thing, like, Russell for another move there again.
Yeah. He's happy on the brakes.
Like, the commentator saying, main overtaking spots, turn 1, Russell. No.
Nah. Turn 2. Turn 4. Turn 5. Sod it. Yeah, and F1 TV is always behind.
Alonso is catching up to Bottas, and that Aston Martin had the fastest straight line speed out of all the teams this weekend.
Okay, so yeah, Alonso is definitely making the most of the opportunity today, but he's going to have to watch out for Norris behind him, though.
Yeah.
So this is Perez on Albon.
Albon, yeah.
It's not really a shock, that one. I mean, Red Bull versus Williams, not particularly a fair fight.
Yeah.
But Perez is up to P14.
Yeah, he's always going to be stuck in traffic, I think, just with how...
Yep. That's a result. What's the result of his poor qualifying on Friday? So,
I mean, if anything, it was a consequence of Ocon just...
that too. That too.
Destroy the car as well.
I'm claiming both.
Yeah, I mean, either way, he wouldn't have started better than P12, I think. That's where he qualified.
Yeah. But either way. Okay, so...
Was it, no, P12 or P8? I don't remember now.
I think it was 12. He was knocked out, wasn't he? Okay, so I'm expecting... Next it's going to be a combination of Bottas and Tsunoda, I would imagine, because they're going to get into the end of the lappage.
Yeah.
What is the reason behind this new random rule? Is it because of the curbing?
Yeah, it's because of the curves, like because they're like kind of pyramid shape. They're quite tall, well, quite big. Oh, Russell was off the track there for a second.
Yeah, he was. He still was again.
Yeah, and I think that format of the curves, like once it interacts with the tire surface, I think it can hit the, I don't know how to...
Is it the rim or the beading or something like that?
No, it's not the rim, but like... well, I presume it hits that, you know, that side of the tire that basically connects the main surface with the lateral surface of the tire.
Yeah, I know what you're on about.
I think if it connects with that part of the
sidewall.
Increase the risk of, causing a puncture.
Yeah, sidewall. Yeah, do you know what? It's very rare I will agree flat out with Russell, but I'd say Ocon did push him off a little bit there. Hang on, was that Ocon that he was racing, or Gasly? Because Gasly's now ahead of Russell.
Yeah, I think it was Gasly.
Alright. That would make more sense, unless Gasly's just snuck up the inside of him somewhere.
Oh, Bottas and Stroll are pitting.
Yeah, Norris up to P4. Yeah, and that was to be expected, because they all jumped in the pits during the safety car.
Yeah, so pretty much all the people that box over the safety car are not pitting.
Yeah.
That's a nice move from Albon. He didn't quite... Didn't quite complete it there, but that was...
It was a good effort.
Close.
You can just see that the Williams doesn't have quite the same grip, does it?
Yeah.
You can put it in those positions, but it doesn't have the same grip as, say, like the Mercedes up ahead of him and whatnot.
Well, I mean, Tsunoda is on a 12 lap stint on those mediums, and Albon has got like 3 laps on that set.
Yeah. I think that's well within the life spec of the mediums, though. And we saw yesterday they were happily doing 19.
Yeah.
So I don't think that tyre life is going to be a problem for anything other than the soft tyre.
Yeah, I mean, but it does make a difference.
Oh, it does make a difference, yeah.
He's probably gonna get him on the main straight. Unless he gets a really poor run out of the right-handers.
Albon's unhappy with the balance he's got in the car at the moment.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Norris fastest lap.
Piastri has moved towards Verstappen a little bit. We're talking about half a second, but it's still 7 and 3/4 seconds behind.
Nice move from Russell.
He's on the move.
Gasly, yes.
And he's on the move today.
Sonoda spitting. Yeah, Sonoda, I think, still has another set of mediums he can use.
Do you think there's going to be any fallout between the Mercedes boys?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Do you think there's going to be? Do you think there's going to be any fallout between the Mercedes boys?
Well, I think this season they have been flashing around, haven't they?
A little bit.
That debrief after the race is gonna be interesting. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, we'll see. So Piastri will be in next lap.
Yeah.
So he's going to go straight back into the pack again.
Norris has gained at least a second on Alonso. After
Keep an eye on it.
from one lap to the other.
And Russell's on the back of Ocon.
And there goes Russell.
He's right between two Alpines at the moment.
Yeah. You know what? I think he's actually having quite solid pace today.
Just a shame about that one's incident for him.
Yeah.
It always seems to be the Mercedes way this last year or two. Every time they have a car that is capable of being at the front, they do something stupid.
Yeah. It is, isn't it?
They're slowly edging their way into Ferrari territory.
Yeah. And you know what? I think this kind of exposed a few weaknesses of the Mercedes team as a whole. Like, you know, the topic that isn't talked about enough, I think their pit stops. They're not as good as people think they are. They've made plenty of mistakes, which cost them some time on the races.
And the strategy isn't brilliant some races either.
Yeah, even the strategy itself, yeah.
Whereas Red Bull are impeccable with strategy.
Yeah. The strategy, the pit stops, like... Oh,
Perez.
white flag for Perez.
Yep. Oops.
Needs to be careful.
He does. He's up to P9 though.
Lando with another fastest lap, and he's gained 7/10 on Alonso that lap.
Well, we know Piastri's going to be in this lap.
Yeah.
So if we add on 19 and 19, the 38 laps, that would be... He's got a bit at least twice more. So I think Verstappen's going to end up pitting one less time than most people. I see. Let's work this out. It was 18 laps each, isn't it?
Yeah, because the thing is, if you do 18 laps, let's say, if you have fresh sets of tires that can last those 18 laps, you can only do 54 laps in total.
Yeah.
The race is 57, so
It's
basically saying, yeah, you need a free stop at least.
Minimum, and that's presuming you have tyres that can each do that.
Exactly. Exactly that.
So to do it in a free stop, at very least, you need tyres. Ooh.
Yeah, because you know, like,
Yeah.
let's put things into perspective. Apart from people like Bottas, Show, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Lawson, Sonoda, Sargent, and Albon, which had 2 sets of hard tires to use, which I presume, you know, it's the other logical option because the softs were struggling yesterday on the sprint.
They were.
Had, what, 19 laps that sprint race? So,
Yeah, they're only going to be able to use those tyres for when they're on super low fuel at the end. Yeah.
so, and all the other drivers only have one set of hard tires left. Or, I mean, a few of them have already used it, so...
Yeah, next round of pit stops now.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what? It's like F1 in the early 2010s, doesn't it? Where you just have races with stupid amount of pit stops.
yeah, I like it. Action. And apparently Carlos's non-start, the DNS, has cost Syrup a lot of points in his F1 Fantasy League. Didn't we used to do a Fantasy League that I completely forgot about until just now?
Yeah, same, really. I haven't checked...
Oh, Alonso.
The CT is burning. Oof. What's going on there?
Well, they sit on the battery, so that's worrying.
Yeah, that's worrying, yeah. So that engine might go boom at any given time.
Well, so the last thing you need splashing on your overalls is acid.
Yeah.
Do they have acid in the lithium batteries? I don't know the technical composition of the batteries well enough to comment.
I don't think it has necessarily acid, but the chemical reaction can produce some sort of an acid, I'd say.
Well, keep an eye on this because they may be chucking a bottle of water down Alonso's back for this one.
I don't think they did anything there.
They didn't. Oh, he's going to be annoyed.
Yeah. Oh, Gasly. Bad pit stop. 4 seconds.
Not.
Russell just pulverized the previous fastest lap.
Well, he's got the bit between his teeth, as they would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perez penalty. Track limits, I presume.
Yeah. He was warned about it. Syrup says it is weird hearing Murray Walker. Oh, nostalgia, mate. Nostalgia. Go back and listen to Suzuka 96. If you want to hear Murray Walker just absolutely break up. Brilliant.
No, Murray was one of those commentators, like, from... Obviously, I wasn't born when he was working as a commentator, but from what I've seen, like, he was... Perhaps didn't have the side of, like, the technical knowledge that a few commentators have, but he was really good at, like, what he did, just...
Passionate.
Passionate and, yeah, just being able to use the words to really make us all picture what he was really thinking.
He used to get it wrong a lot as well, which was quite amusing.
Yeah. Bless him.
And you can see him in his earphones. Also, hey Kulios.
1.8 second pit stop for McLaren. Have I just seen that right?
If so, that's record equaling. Side by side with the Alpha, nearly got him. Well, that's Joe. He's not going to put up too much of a fight, is it?
Yeah. I'm sorry, but like, if that was not a mistake on the timing graphs, that is seriously impressive from McLaren.
Piastri on the Williams. I still dislike that colour. Yeah, I still dislike the colour of that Williams. That dark blue was much nicer.
I like the Golf colors, I just don't like the livery. I think the other liveries look better.
That's fair. So, okay, Perez is going to have a, 5-second penalty?
Yeah.
So that's going to drop him down behind... Oh, it's going to put him equal with roughly where Albon is.
Albon is, yeah. Unless there's a safety car and he manages to sort that pit stop.
Well, so far all the drivers, with the exception of Hamilton, are behaving themselves.
Yeah.
So, full credit to them all there.
Will Piastri go for the move into turn 1? He's going for it.
The closing speed of that car.
Yeah. I'm surprised about that because McLaren was one of the slowest cars once again, like in terms of straight line speed.
I would imagine Albon's harvesting battery, but yeah, I get you.
Too. Yeah.
Controversial opinion from Syrup. I hate Drive to Survive F1 fans. Ooh.
Well,
I have a fully fledged opinion on this one.
hmm.
I hate the drama for F1. I think it's good to bring people in, but people that expect
Yeah.
that every race will never get it because it doesn't happen. I mean,
Yeah.
so, it's like a couple of years ago. It was like the rivalry between Norris and Ricciardo. Eh,
And
they're quite good
it was
friends.
also between Lando and Carlos.
Oh,
So that one was ridiculous.
yeah. I mean, all the F1 drivers want to beat their teammates, but they're not at each other's throats.
Exactly. Unless, they're doing just really stupid things all the time.
Yeah, like Alonso and Hamilton in 07.
Mm.
But there's a lot of drama that's made there that doesn't exist. That's what irritates me.
Yeah.
And in the first season, they played the wrong engine notes. They played V10s over it and V8. So
I mean, and not only that, they just get like team radios and just
out of context.
put them out of context, really.
I like the show, but yet it's one of those you really, really have to just treat it as entertainment, soap opera.
Yeah.
And Crazy said they're still stuck on 2021 Abu Dhabi. So am I.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, like if you watch Drive to Survive and it catches your interest to watch F1, then
Everyone's welcome.
it helps you seeing things from a different perspective.
Yeah.
You have to take things from a different perspective, and most people will quickly realize that. From that point that you just said about the drama, they'll quickly realize that F1 isn't all that was being portrayed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's never going to be authentic because if you're chasing people around with the camera, they're not going to behave the same way they would if they knew that the camera wasn't there.
Agreed.
Yeah, it gives a good insight on the off-the-track things, but even then, it's not fully representative.
Agreed.
Let's have a managed increase in pace at this point for Max. Okay.
Pick up the pace a little bit here.
Pick up the pace. Yeah, you're only 22 seconds ahead of Russell. Pick up the pace.
I think they're wondering if they've got a short set of tyres later on. They're going for like, hang on, 18. So we've got, how many laps we've got left? We've got 26 laps.
26, yeah.
So he's going to have a set of hard tyres. Yeah, if he's got the lap allocation.
Yeah, he's got a fresh set of softs, or as in an 18 lap set of softs and a 17 lap set of softs. All the others are 14 or 12, so we can definitely do.
Oh yeah, so he's not got a problem at all. Okay, yeah. So Max is gone. Why are they telling him to pick up the pace? That's weird.
I don't know. Do they just want to make sure that they're fully a pit stop ahead of Russell?
Maybe.
That's the only reason.
Maybe they're anticipating Alonso blowing up or something.
Because Alonso is still behind Joe and he's not gaining that much time.
Yeah, he has dropped off a bit. Yeah, and I agree with you there, sir. But they apparently Drive to Survive get everything mixed up. At very least, the context is wrong a lot, and yeah, they do things in the wrong order. Where there should be an actual story, like chronologically, they dart around all over the place. Yeah, I get you. I fully understand.
Exactly. Oh, Perez is serving his penalty.
So, where's that gonna bring him out? I imagine somewhere around Leclerc, maybe?
Probably. Or just slightly ahead of home. He's behind.
Oh, Albon's in as well.
Behind Stroll.
Albon's
I
up.
think he might just about be ahead of. Yeah, okay. So he's still ahead of Albon.
Albon hard tyres. He's going to come out side by side with the Haas. That's the last person you want to come out next to.
Oh, is Tsunoda gonna go for it as well? I don't think he has the tires. Oh. He's going to go for it, round the outside. Oof. Oh, there's so close switch. Oh my god.
Good racing. Oh, that was close.
That was a nice move from Sonoda.
Mm.
Thing.
His tyres are up to temperature. So the overcut does work here. It looks like Albon's
Yeah.
struggling with front end grip from the looks of it.
But you know what? Sonoda is on 9 laps. Yeah, 9 lap old hards. Yeah, it shouldn't affect it that much.
Russell's in. Interestingly, he's opened his visor in the pits. So he's getting a bit of air in the cockpit.
Well, I mean, if the air temperature is 31.4 degrees, humidity 73%, and that cockpit is probably burning.
Yeah, probably.
as well.
Right, so Leclerc on one of the Alphas. That's Bottas.
Yeah.
Oh, did I just see
Oh,
smoke?
no.
I think I just saw smoke. I did.
Alonso, no. I think that's him up then.
Is that just dust? Oh, he must have
I
just.
don't know.
I think he must have just filled his brake ducts with dust because that looked like he was almost on fire.
Yeah.
So he's had a yeet into the gravel.
Yeah.
Max is coming in.
Max is coming in. Well, he's 34 seconds out of the Astrid, so he's still gonna be out of the lead.
About 5 to 8 seconds or so. Yeah.
Oh, he just clipped the curve there a little bit. Oh.
Just oversteer. Yeah, on the curb, oversteer.
That's not really common for me.
No, but it proves he's pushing freaking hard, doesn't it?
Yeah. And he was going off. Oh my god, that rejoin.
Right. So what? Okay, what it was?
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So what it was? He was on the sand, the dust, and that rejoin. Oh wow.
That could have been his race done and
Yeah.
Leclerc's race done.
Yeah. You want my opinion? That's going to be a penalty. It should be a penalty, actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I'm still surprised with showing P4.
There's still so much dust over there. It's just hanging around.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been there for a lap for Alonso. That's a long time for dust to just... Someone else gone off?
Oh,
I personally have Now TV, which I'm watching the Sky F1 feed on Now TV. Pedro has the F1 TV, don't
I
you?
have the F1 TV. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Verstappen in.
What's happening? Is that he's still going to be leading the race after he exits the pit lane. That's
Yeah,
pretty
he's gone to hard tyres, which is interesting.
good. See, he can't go to the end on that.
No. Maybe
But
he's...
then again, I don't think he has any more mediums there. No, he does actually.
Well,
He's
maybe...
gone through all the sets of mediums there.
Well, if we just say he's got 18 laps on those, it's going to take him up to lap 40 or 53. He's just going to bolt on a set of softs and get the fastest lap at the end.
Yeah. Likely, yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's
Because it gets the mandatory tire compound change out of the way anyway. So.
yeah, and it gives him the extra point for the fastest lap and the glory. That's probably why they want him to push a little bit, build the gap for the extra stop.
Yeah. Oh,
Alonso, yeah,
is that Alonso?
yeah.
Sargent? What are they saying to him?
Was that Albon we're looking at or Sargent?
Albon.
It's Albon, right?
Albon. Yeah, he's gone past Sonoda at some point.
Yeah, he has.
Seen it.
Yeah, they had Sargent up on the side there. We were looking at Albon.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Hulk's race was ruined by that grid start penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's crazy. He was in the points for such a long time.
Those are the rules.
But I don't. Did he just overshot the the grid slot.
He did, yeah.
What happened?
That's all it was.
Yeah.
Fastest lap,
Russell is flying.
yep. On the hards as well. Leclerc's got Joe's up in the pits, that's why.
Fitting. Yeah. Is that all fighting Stroll? Yeah.
Yeah, these two have a tendency to crash, so watch out.
You know what? That was fair play to both of them.
Yeah?
It's good racing.
Another controversial opinion. F1 need to bring another tyre in like the 90s for a tyre war. Anyone have any thoughts on that?
Oh, that's...
I'd say it's always tricky.
Yeah, because then again, we are seeing that these tires have so many issues because they either last for a lot of laps or they're just not good at all. So the construction of the tires has been affected.
Yeah. Oh,
So adding another tire to the mix probably, well, maybe for specific races, I'd say. Those with really high tire wear could be an option, but then again, I'm not really sure.
I'm at the point of saying I'd like to see it. However, logistically and ethically and financially, there is a lot of problems they need to address there first.
Yeah.
Also, you can very well end up... I know we're in a Red Bull-dominated era at the moment, but if you get one team with the best tyre, they may very well just literally run away with the championship.
Yeah.
As I have said before, Red Bull have been the best team this year. I don't necessarily think they have a dominant car, but they have been the best team. Max has been the best driver. They've made the most of every single opportunity they could get. However, if you give one car a big advantage, say potentially a dominant tyre, you may see what happened in 2014 with Mercedes just going bye and just yeeting the whole field. So it is tricky, but I'd like to see it. That's my very complicated way of saying I'm sitting on the fence.
Yeah. Because even then, as I said, a lot of questions, especially regarding the sustainability and everything that policies they want to implement. For that matter.
Most of it's
just adding another set of tires to the allocated tires for the weekend.
Well, most of it's the financial side because it's the R&D that's involved in it, and budget caps and all that sort of thing. Anywho, Stroll and Ocon, we've seen a replay of that.
Ocon is...
That wasn't a really good replay.
Oh.
So Gasly, yeah, and F1 tickets are expensive as anything. It's ludicrous. I agree with that.
They were showing it as if it was a replay, but it was actually Ocon making a move on Bottas in real time.
Yeah, it looked like the graphics went down there for a second, didn't it?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I have to say the action has been utterly non-stop in this one.
Incident involving Perez under investigation. Track limits.
So he's doing it again, basically. Where is he running at the moment? P11.
11, yeah. Okay.
If he doesn't get points today, Helmut Marko is going to be
Yeah.
eyeing up any other driver. They're going to be contacting De Vries. They're not. But you get the point.
Okay, so Oscar has to pit lap 43 at most.
Which then he needs 14 laps to get him to the end.
Yeah. And he still needs, and Lando is closing in on him. And I don't think he has any more sets of, let's say, mediums for that matter. Still has a set of hearts. Yeah, has a set of hearts.
Do you know what?
Tires with stickers.
Do you know what? It's now all the traffic sorted itself out. It's a lot closer between Max and Piastri than I thought it would be.
True.
However, Piastri's going to have to pit earlier again, and he's going to be stuck in traffic again.
Yeah.
So, pace-wise, McLaren's have been pretty impressive. Zhou on
Yeah.
someone. Tsunoda.
Yeah, Tsunoda's got much older tires than Joe has at the moment. Saying that, Tsunoda will probably have to pit either in 1 or 2 laps time. Makes sense.
Oh.
Another 5-second penalty. Ooh. Perez, what are you doing? He shot himself in the foot twice. Quite literally.
It's at this point you have to say he's the only one today with a track limit penalty, and he's done it twice.
Yeah.
So, do you know what? I like Sergio. I really do. But for his sake, he's destroying his career. Get him out of the Red Bull.
Yeah.
He needs to do what Albon has done and go rebuild somewhere else. Problem is, he's getting on in F1 years.
Yeah. He's kind of old for an F1 driver.
Yeah.
I think he's like 33 or 34, isn't he?
Yeah. Which is still 8 years younger than Alonso, but Alonso's still performing stupidly well. Minus today.
Yeah.
I'll come back to that comment in a second, Crazy. Where would you put Perez?
Where would I put?
Yeah, if you were to, say, get him out of Red Bull.
You know what? I'm gonna say something that can be quite well.
Do
I
it.
could probably see him in 2 places. One would be for an immediate, could be sort of like a more immediate option.
Sure.
The other one would be a little bit further on. Oh, Stroll, black and white flag, by the way.
Yeah, I
5
saw.
minutes.
I saw. It was always going to be him as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he has 2 options, really, or 2 places where I like. Probably could be good to see him. So.
Right, go on.
at
Two options.
Audi team,
Who?
so now Sauber. So I could see him at Sauber for like 2025.
Replacing Joe, potentially. Okay. And the other one?
Yeah. Or Andretti for
Oh!
2026. Oh, that was.
That.
Oh my god.
What's
That's
going
really
on?
unsettled Sargent.
He just let one of the Astons. He's got to have a
No.
problem.
He
Yeah.
was getting lapped by. Oh,
No, there's definitely a problem there. There is no way he should be going that slowly. That looks on. Penalty for Sergio. Is that a third one?
no, that was the second one, I believe. So we are just watching the replay as to why he got it.
Okay, yeah, we didn't need to see that. What the hell was going on with that Williams?
Yeah, I thought he was getting lapped and was letting Max through or something.
He stopped on one of the corners
It just
virtually.
seemed like there was
Anywho,
an issue.
Crazy says, my 6-year-old daughter just said that Lewis fans need to stop complaining about 2021. You all sound like Ferrari fans. I'll tell you what, I'm actually going to go somewhat against that. I'm still complaining about 2021 because it wasn't... Yes, Arden's retiring. Because it wasn't right. The way it was all done was wrong. However, I am not a Lewis fan. I am, again, more sort of a Brit fan, you know, Piastri and Norris and all that sort of thing. However, it's one of those things we all do have to accept and just move on. But it's left such a disdain in
Yeah.
the sport because it was so public, because it was the FIA that cocked it up, and it literally changed the outcome of a championship. I mean, I'd still feel the same about it if it was Leclerc and anyone else. I was trying to look for someone else who's reasonable, but yeah, I don't blame Max either. I do not blame Max. That's not Max's fault. However, he did benefit from it. So it's one of those, it's the FIA's cock-up. Anywho, that's besides the point. I mean, if you...
I'm gonna fully agree with you and just add the thing that, like, I think that the race winner probably wasn't the one that deserved to win.
Mm.
Like if that shenanigans didn't happen, but the right person won the championship.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Max win the championship a lot more than Lewis that
Yeah.
season.
I mean, they both performed brilliantly most of the year.
Yeah.
And going either way, I'm like, sure. However, the way it was supposed to play out, the FAA got that wrong. Yeah, it was not right.
That was really wrong.
There's a reason why it's memed to high hell. But also, hello Fred. And also, hello M. Hello you pair. And Crazy said, I say Perez need to build Haas. Perez need to build Haas. Need to take Haas? Need to... Oh, you mean like drop K-Mag or something like that. Okay, that would be interesting.
I just don't see it though. I can understand because it is like, well, a North American team. It's like, getting closer to the families, like, throw with the penalty.
Yeah. The worst two performing drivers at the moment for what their machinery is. So it's a shocker that both the ones to get the penalties. Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh, Piastri is going to go on the hard tires.
Well, it looks like the McLarens have given up on the fastest lap dream then.
2-second pit stop.
They've been good today. And he may just get out in front of the Aston. Gasly penalty. What for?
Track limits? Track limits.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so now it's starting to creep in. Okay. That's a shame for Gasly because he's been pretty damn good recently.
He was doing such a decent race today. That's a shame.
Fred just said, good on Williams letting Logan retire. 20 years ago that would not have been a thing. I mean, did Webber retire after vomiting in Japan 07? It was 07 because it was at Fuji. What have we missed? Because why did Sargent retire?
Well, wasn't Webber at Red Bull already?
He was, and he was vomiting in the helmet in the rain, and he was on course for a podium.
It was Turkey then, I think.
It was definitely Fuji. Well, unless he's done it twice, it was definitely Fuji. 100% was Fuji. Fred, it sounds like you. Oh, apparently. Okay, apparently Logan fell ill. Okay, I mean, I'm not one to comment because Albon earlier in the year had appendicitis, so it could be something serious. Okay, that's interesting.
He's okay.
Yeah. I remember a few years back the synchro on K-Mag's Haas.
Will Norris he was going to get ahead of Piastri.
Yeah. They let K-Mag retire a few years ago because the gear shifts on his Haas was essentially violent and he was whacking his head on the airbox. So they let him retire. Crazy. Like Perez is my best option for Haas. He has experience and he has a major sponsor. Do you know what? That's a very good idea. I didn't think of that.
But then again, I just don't think, well, Haas can really provide them good machinery. I just don't think that operationally they are good at
I would agree with you.
steps forward. Well, even start by the fact that they don't have their own wind tunnel. Stuff like that.
Ooh, and then as Fred just said, Lewis bouncing in Baku 22 must have been murder. Yeah, it looked it. Yeah.
Oh. Wow, Logan was really dizzy there. He was even struggling to play like balance.
So I wonder what's up with him. Is that Perez being lapped by Max?
Maybe.
Yes, it was.
Ouch.
Oh, I know Max has got a pit again, but
yeah, still, he's not gonna make up that gap.
Ooh.
He's going to outlap himself, but he's still gonna be so far behind Max.
If that doesn't underline the disappointment that has been Perez this year, nothing will.
I mean, it wasn't technically. It wasn't. Did Gasly just get another penalty?
I think so.
He just served 1 5-second penalty.
Is it once they get 3 warnings, they get a penalty, and each time they do it after that, they get another penalty?
They get a penalty. It must be.
Mm.
Oh.
Whoever was Lewis's chiropractor in 22 was banking. he paid for their mortgage. Yes. Chiropractor or a osteopath. Yes, either or. Which I can very much back up osteopaths because they are good. And
Oh, Norris is not happy for being forced to stay behind Piastri.
well, they're not going to catch Max. I don't really understand why it's an option. If Russell now goes to soft tyres, he might have a shot at catching Norris. We'll see. We'll see.
Probably. I think Gasly. Oh, that was the reason why he got the 5-second penalty. Let me say that pit stop was still pretty bad. Albon penalty.
Oh, man. Well, he's running 13th at the moment, so he's kind of... That's going to be post-race application, I would imagine.
You know what? They tuned in at the exact... I think they might have tuned in at the exact time where he got the penalty.
Quite possibly. Yeah,
I mean, Lando has a point. He's catching up to Piastri, but then again, from a team point of view.
I called it, by the way. I just said Russell might be going to softs at the end, and Norris is a race engineer. It's just told Norris that exactly that. They think Russell's going to be coming at them in the last couple of laps. Yeah, no, I fully see that coming too. Crazy has a Ferrari coffee thermos I bought in Australia, 2002. Oh man, those are the days of Schumacher, Montoya. Hacken was still in the sport at that point, and yeah, that dates that one. 21-year-old thermos. That's good. Barrichello was still the Ferrari teammate to Michael at that point, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Irvine gave it up in '99 to go to Jaguar. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Russell actually needs to pit now if he wants any shot of catching up to the McLarens. Magnussen, okay, we need Bravo 10 position 4. K-Mag, what?
It doesn't make sense.
To make a return,
especially since they know that Albon has a penalty. Presume that's probably
Albon.
That's going to tune on the settings.
Yeah, Albon, another penalty, so that's 10 seconds.
Oh, oh no. That's his race for him as well.
Yeah, that's a shame. Hackenen's last race was Japan 2001. I just googled it, mate. So, just as, that's an FYI. I didn't know. I thought it was 2002, but it's 2001. And Kimi at McLaren. Oh, that was peak Kimi those years. If it wasn't for the unreliableness of those McLarens in the sort of 2003, 4, 5, 6 years, he would have been a multiple world champion.
Yeah.
Exclude 2004 because that Ferrari was a beast. Russell's not going to catch up to Norris now. Yeah, they needed some time on the soft tyres.
Yeah.
He's going again. He's
Piastri
going.
has- Oh. Are you seeing his onboard?
What is Russell doing?
He was annoyed, I think. He was just frustrated. But the thing is, Piastri has caught up to him by like 3 seconds.
Why is he?
Lando is edging closer and closer to Piastri.
For those that didn't see it, Russell just took his hands off the wheel and started doing that. So, okay, what's he doing here? Is he
I think
resetting
he's just,
something?
like, I think he's just showing his frustration really about something.
I was going to say, or has he got a problem? Chandok's just mentioned it as well. I was just thinking the same thing. Has he got a problem with his wrists? Or is he just hot?
Don't know.
That was odd.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think that the issue with Sargents like, can actually make a lot of sense, because if you're seeing, you're mostly doing high speeds around this track. A lot of really high G-force corners. So I can understand why he was probably feeling a bit dizzy.
Okay, Russell's
You
in.
can say, yeah, but he was the only one suffering from it.
Yeah. Have they
Each person reacts differently.
definitely said he
That's
was
probably not
dizzy?
his preparation.
Yeah, Russell.
Sorry?
Have they definitely said he was dizzy?
I don't know, but he looked dizzy when he left the car.
Mm,
He couldn't even like stand up to get out of the car.
weird. Okay, so yeah, I think Russell is really struggling with heat in the cockpit because he's visors up at every opportunity. Yeah, Verstappen's coming in for his final stop. So it's going to be fastest lap Russell versus Verstappen, and Russell versus Norris for P3. Syrup says, I think Alonso will get a title and retire. I think that is ambitious. However, if Aston Martin start strongly next year as they did this year and they maintain it, possible. But they have dropped off significantly since about, what was it, Austria time?
Yeah.
Yeah, and historically
Actually,
they
even
don't develop
Silverstone-
car very well.
Even Silverstone wasn't great for him. I don't think. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, what
did you see the camera flip upside down there?
I did. Yeah, why they do that? I've seen a meme of that before. Right, here we're going to look at a pit stop. What? What? And they were actually very slow on the front left there because that was a 4-second pit stop.
They went to the mediums.
Hmm.
That's weird.
He's only about 5 seconds ahead of Piastri. Okay. So, again, this is what I was saying earlier on. That car isn't super OP. It's just the team has just done so damn well. So, front left didn't come off.
Or
Okay, that's what it was.
it looks like there was something stuck in there.
Yeah, I saw that too.
It's kind of like a wire.
Yeah.
Russell keeps opening his visor. Yeah, I think they're all struggling there.
Yeah. Yeah, even Norris is going, oh Christ, it's hot.
Check. So air temperature 31 degrees.
31 degrees at 200 miles an hour with fireproof overalls.
73% humidity.
Yeah, there's,
And the temperature is coming out of the airbox.
yeah, they're all hot. They're all. I think they're all going to look a bit red after this. Oh, that's ambitious for the Alpine.
He's made it.
Hmm.
He's made it safe.
I think Stroll will be complaining about that one being illegal though.
Oh, is he going back at him?
He's trying to. Okay, so Russell is 18 seconds behind Norris.
Yeah.
They needed the pit 5 laps earlier for that.
Right, let's see the move. Oh, he was so close to hitting Stroll. Going to turn 1.
Yeah, that's kind of off the track, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have to be forced to give up the position.
Yeah. Where's Leclerc running at the moment? 5th. Okay.
P5. Yeah.
Very quiet race for him, isn't it?
Show P6, so he's gonna pit now.
Yeah.
Is Bottas? This could be really good for Alfa Romeo if they manage to score some points. I don't think they'll be able to go to the end. Wait, Bottas might actually.
Yeah, I think Bottas will.
Yeah, Bottas is. Joe isn't.
Well, let's face it.
Sorry?
I was going to say it's a fight at the bottom between the Haas, Williams, Alfa Romeo. Three-way fight into turn 1.
Ooh.
This ended up badly yesterday for Perez.
Once again, there's an Alpine involved as well.
Is it Ocon?
It's Gasly.
Okay. Ooh, Stroll not giving Perez any quarter there.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Gasly had to give back the position.
Yeah. Yeah, to be expected.
Is struggling to be able to go to the end.
He's done pretty well in the race today, for a change.
He can actually. That is a fresh set of mediums. Yeah, he had two fresh sets of mediums at the beginning of the race, so he might be able to go to the end. I'll tell you what, that was actually a nice move from him.
That was Gasly giving the place. Yeah, Gasly gave the place back, and Perez just jumped on it, didn't he?
Yeah.
The last time I saw a car do that, dart across from left to right at a track like this, we saw Grosjean go for a barrier. Ironically, it was Gasly as well that he hit, wasn't it? Stroll penalty.
I think it was Kvyat.
Oh.
Stroll, you just ruined your race.
Was it Kvyat? It might have been Kvyat.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think in that very same race, he made Stroll flip upside down.
True that. True.
Unless I'm thinking about a different race.
Look at Russell's pace. It's just disappeared.
I'll tell you what, Piastri is only 4 seconds behind Max.
Yeah, Max is just pacing himself. Russell, I'm sure he was 18 seconds behind Norris. Now he's 25. Has he had an off somewhere?
Most likely. I have to check that. Yeah, he must have had an off somewhere.
Yeah, that was
It
10.
was 18, 19, then jumped to 20, 21. When they gave penalty for, well, when they forced Gasly to give the place back. I don't really know what happened.
So, yeah, that was just turn the engine onto minimum setting, which they're not even allowed to do anymore. Maybe he's got
He's just running an old set of softs.
not the ones from the sprint yesterday.
Oh, nice move from Gasly.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got Perez back. Nice. I wonder if Russell's fuel saving.
Possibly, could be. But then again, Leclerc is, well, it's 4.4 seconds.
4.2. 4.1. Oh, of course, yeah. As Ted Kravitz has just come over the radio, they're saying a bunch of these drivers have penalties as well. So that's like Perez and Albon. So Zhou might get points.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well, because, well, Stroll has a
Oh, I think Gasly's done it again. He might get a penalty.
and, I mean, Gasly already had a penalty, didn't he, for track limits, which he didn't serve.
Yeah, so like Gasly, Perez, and Albon, Stroll. Yeah, okay. Zhou might go up to about 9th, right up behind Bottas. Okay.
Yeah, ninth or 10th.
Yeah. Norris is still holding the fastest lap. I can't imagine that Verstappen's going to let that stand.
Yeah.
Unless Russell...
Surely.
Unless Russell's going to do it. Black and white flag for Russell. What's going on with him?
Lando is so close to Piastri though.
Yep.
Yeah, there goes Verstappen. T43. No.
Some really weird things going on in this race.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Norris is going to make a move on Piastri in the final lap. He's going to let him know he's there, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, I think it will cause a lot of chaos over at McLaren if we disobey the team orders.
Yeah, particularly when Piastri has been so good with team orders this year.
Yeah.
I just want to know what's going on with Russell. And Sargent, to be fair.
Yeah. I'd actually search.
Well, okay, well that's Max wrapping up the title with extra gusto. I think Perez is going to be in danger of losing P2 in the championship. I mean, admittedly, it's Lewis is P3, isn't he? So he's out.
Yeah.
Who's P4 at the moment? Is it Russell? No, he was like P8 or something, wasn't he?
Oh, who was P4 at the start?
Yeah.
It was...
Well, it might be Alonso.
P4 was Alonso, yeah.
So he scored points. Perez has somehow got 2 points, I think. After he hasn't finished yet, has he?
Yeah. And Joe got Stroll in the meantime.
Okay, I thought that was timing screen sorting themselves out. So that is just a pass. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've still got racing on track with Ocon, Bottas, Perez, Zhou, Stroll, Gasly, and Albon. Hang on. How's Albon not finished, but Magnussen has?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering myself. Like, how? Oh, the order has shuffled now, I believe.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, Perez somehow still gets 2 points.
Yeah, and Joe gets 1 point. And Valtteri gets 4, so that's good for them in the constructors.
The driver of the day is Oscar
Yes.
Piastri.
You know what? I think that's fair.
Yeah, him or Max. Simply put.
He really benefited from that car not at the start. But then again, he had to place the car well in order to avoid the votes.
Yeah,
I don't think he made any blatant mistakes.
none at all. The only thing I didn't like is, well, this is from a McLaren point of view, is Max was on the optimal strategy. There was just, with Piastri pitting way before some of the other drivers, he was always in traffic that race. Always.
Yeah.
So to be that close to Max at the end is...
Pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah, I think Norris still had the fastest lap at the end too.
Did he?
I think so.
Well, let me just say, I think Norris, to an extent, actually performed better than him today.
Yeah, coming from 8th or 9th on the grid.
It was 10th.
10th.
Went from 10th to 3rd.
And was on the back of Piastri.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see Norris getting a shout out for driver of the day.
Yeah. I think he was the 3rd most voted driver for the driver of the day at some point. The thing is, I think if they didn't put the team orders in place, he would have definitely finished ahead of Piastri.
I'd agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. Okay, well, I'm going to go and prepare the tier list.
Okay. I have the list of the drivers and stints and etc. Like position changes with me.
That is fair. Cool. We're going to wait for the podium, mind you.
Yeah. Yeah. Just have everything ready.
Exactly.
Right.
So if anyone wants to help us do the rankings, please stick around for a few more minutes.
Yeah. Max's new helmet livery actually looks quite good. It's having that gold there.
Okay, when they finish the podiums, I am ready and waiting.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was very much a controlled chaos race, wasn't it?
Hmm. Yeah. That first lap was just chaotic. Apart from that, I think most drivers were quite well behaved. Didn't do anything silly.
Yeah,
We've seen some good moves on track as well.
quite right. We have seen that tyres, when used in a different manner, create a lot of good on-track racing. But it's not
Yeah.
something that teams are going to want to do often. There's going to be someone out there that says, I want to see 4 stops mandatory every race.
Mm.
Yeah, even Norris knew it was a 1.8 second pit stop there.
Mm-hmm. McLaren's pit stops were on point today, I think.
As a team, I think they are the closest, I don't mean just on raw pace, but they are the closest to Red Bull at the moment. They're the ones that are not. I don't think they had the best strategy today, but they didn't envision they were going to be running P2 at the end of lap 1.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't fault them for that. But I think they're
Yeah.
the team that are performing the best at the moment. I think they're, as a whole, performing better than Red Bull because they have one driver letting them down.
Mm. Yeah.
But
I think they definitely have a more consistent driver pairing at the moment.
yeah, look at all the drives; they look absolutely shattered.
Yeah. I mean, it is understandable, isn't it? Just
Yeah,
how scorching hot it was, humid as well, with all the, their suits, the helmets, the air coming from the airbox. Really do commend them for managing to go to the end.
I do wonder where things would have been though if Russell and Hamilton hadn't have tangled with each other.
True, actually. Because Russell had quite solid pace until obviously that last stint. We don't really know what happened.
I think
Not sure
he's
if it was damage or just some management of some sort.
it's really weird.
Yeah.
Definitely disappeared in the last stint, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. But honestly, apart from that, I think his pace was actually quite good today.
Here's a thought. Logan Sargent. Heat stroke.
Could be. I think it could be a mix of like obviously the heat and how physically demanding the track is as well. Because it means that he might not be fully prepared physically for
Entirely possible.
like this race.
Entirely possible. And this isn't even the hardest race of what there is. There is Singapore, there is Bahrain. Back in the couple of years ago, Malaysia was even worse than this.
Yeah.
So it does make me wonder.
But I think it's really the G-forces that kind of exacerbated all of this.
Possibly.
Because there's a lot of high-speed corners here, like with a lot of G-forces involved. And I think you combine the temperature factors with the that extra factor, like physically demanding of the in corner natures and stuff. And I think that's why probably could have made.
Possibly. I mean, we don't know until we see Williams put out a press statement.
It was a shame because I think he wasn't driving too badly today.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. He wasn't too far behind Albon. He didn't get himself any silly penalties. I'm not going to say that's going to save his F1 career, but he was doing what was expected of him, which is exactly what he should have been doing all year.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that it's nothing more serious, that he recovers well, and that he can have good weekends like the one he was having up until this point. I mean, the sprint didn't exactly go as planned, but the fact he out-qualified Albon for the first time, and that he was actually relatively close to him throughout the race, hopefully he can build on this and just have good performances until the end of the season.
But otherwise, we want Lawson in the Williams seat. But I do anyway.
I think that's not going to happen.
I do
Unless
agree.
he really has a shocker to the end of the season. When even James Vowles went and said that they wanted to give him another opportunity for next season.
I'll tell you what. If Perez does more like he's done today and yesterday, and the last couple of races, they will start considering just buying out his contract and just go away. We'll have Ricardo, and we'll put Lawson in the AlphaTauri. If this happens again for Perez, I mean, he's not had a shocker today, but he still had a bad one. And there's 2 in a row again. Yeah. I think Perez is one bad race away from them going, do you know what, sod it, we'll just have Ricardo.
Exactly. They even said that if Perez was to be dropped midway through next season, for example, or something else was to happen that prevented Perez from driving, they'd be going for Danny Rick above all the other drivers.
Look at this. I think these drivers...
That just shows how much confidence they have in him.
Even Max is doing it.
What, sorry?
Max is doing it too. They're all just getting... That's interesting. Okay. I mean, they're all just sitting on the floor. Must be cooler. Max, is that in the wrong seat, man? That drive from McLaren. Welcome to the Max Verstappen podcast. He does what he wants.
I mean, it hasn't been the first time that the driver sat on the wrong seats.
No. To be fair, Norris sat in the wrong one as well. I just realised.
They're probably exhausted right now. I don't really blame them for... Oscar laying down on the floor.
He's laying down on the floor to look at the highlights. I like this cool down rim.
That's gonna be mean to High Helen, you know.
Yeah, it's going to be alongside Alonso sunbathing, isn't it? I know it's not the youngest podium ever because they've had this before, but that's got to be one of the youngest sets of podiums in history. Like one of, I mean, those three. I mean, it's Norris is 22, 23. Max is 25, I think.
Yeah.
And Piastri is a couple of years younger than, a year or two younger than Norris.
22. Yeah, he's 22.
So a combined age of less than 70.
Yeah, Lando is 23. Max is 26. Okay.
He's 26 now.
Recently made 26. 30th.
So last week.
What was the youngest podium? Because I'm sure.
But it's going to involve Max, no matter what it is. Max. It's got to be Max and Norris. It's got to be, and maybe Ocon or something like that. Or to be fair, we have had Stroll on the podium as well when he was 17, but that was back in Baku, like 2018.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I might have to Google that as well.
I'm not really finding it. I'm just really open. So should I search? I'm seeing an article from 2019. It's probably changed in the meantime.
Yeah, if you search youngest ever F1 podium, you get the individual ages of people, don't you?
Exactly.
So yeah, it's just say Max. Stroll's the second one, who's only 12 days behind Max. But
Yeah.
if he'd have done that a race or two beforehand, he would have beaten Max. But Max's first podium was actually a win, so I think he wins that one hands down. What surprises me is Max beat Vettel by a solid like 2.5 years, which is nuts. Where's Hamilton on this list? Oh, he's 15th.
To be fair, Lewis, obviously for today's standards, started his career was at like 21.
22. So it might have been just 21 at the time. Just 20. His birthday, I know, is early January because it was a couple of days before or after someone I knew, and she was a year older than me. So I know his birthday's in early January. Okay, either way, that's something that I'm betting Crofty would have in his brain. He could just pop out at any point. And by the way, the youngest ever podium was, but we're not Crofty.
Yeah. Well, guess we'll have to find out later on.
Are they allowed alcoholic beverages in this country?
So, I don't believe so because that was causing issues at the World Cup actually.
Yeah, you can. It's flat. You can tell the drinks were flat.
Oh wait, I found. Wait. So consumption of alcohol bought from authorized suppliers is legal in Qatar, but drinking in public is strictly prohibited and punishable by law.
So yeah, that's not alcoholic then. It doesn't even look like it's carbonated, to be honest. Right, shall we move on to the breakdown very quickly?
Yeah, so good.
Let's do exactly that. So bear with us 30 seconds, and we'll be right back.
Okay, I have the list with me. Oh,
No problem. But it appears that my one's gone a bit wonky here, so just bear with me a second.
okay.
There we go. Got it now. Okay, that was weird. Right, let's do this. So, okay, shall we start from... Let's do top down. We did reverse grid yesterday. So we do top down. So max downwards.
Okay.
P1, we know that already. Triple world champion, faultless. A.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. Anything other than that would be wrong, wouldn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Piastri, finished P2.
And started P6.
I think he had a much tougher race. I think he's a stronger A. Do you think you could make a case for an A star?
Ooh.
No.
Oh,
I'm thinking super strong A.
super strong A. Yeah.
Mm.
Right on the verge of the A star.
But not quite there.
No, I feel like we are being a bit unfair. But then again, what should he have done? Well, because technically he was slower than Lando. And Team Order
That is
was
why I didn't say A star. That's why I
So,
did.
yeah, I agree with you.
So next one, Norris. Finished P3.
10 to P3.
A
I give him an A star.
A star.
honestly.
That's where I was going with that too.
Yeah. Faster than Piastri all race.
Great in
Well,
traffic.
McLaren did a brilliant pit stop with him today.
Yeah.
The,
Brilliant. And he was great in the sprint as well.
yeah,
Not taken into consideration, but yeah, pretty damn faultless for Norris, and he was, and he played the team game. He could have got P2, but he played the team game and he didn't overtake. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think that's a cracking result for him.
yeah, I agree.
Sweet. Okay, next one, P4. I can't remember. It was Russell.
Yeah, started P2, finished P4. Obviously had that incident with Hamilton right at the start, which, you know, I think it was more Hamilton's fault than his fault,
I would agree.
but still something that could have been avoided.
I was all ready to give him an A, but that last stint,
Yeah, I don't really know what happened.
he's super weird. I kind of want to make him king of the B grades.
Yeah, because I'm seeing here, his last lap was not, was probably was 1 millisecond slower than Max, but I mean Max was just managing at that point.
Yeah, and Russell was on
Even
soft
then, I
tyres.
can only see two to three people quicker than him. Yeah, you raise a valid point there. He was on the softs.
Who actually had the fastest lap in the end? Was it Norris still?
No, I think it was Max.
Oh, he must have taken that on the last lap or so then.
I think it was on the penultimate lap.
Okay.
that he got it. Yeah.
Russell, where do we rank him?
I'd say a B.
Yeah, I mean, there
Because
was...
all things considered, it was a pretty good recovery drive.
Oh, it's a great performance until the last 10 laps. That's just weird. So, yeah, okay. Okay, P5, Leclerc?
Started P5, finished P5.
I kind of wanted to say C+. I mean, he was just kind of nowhere.
Yeah, we didn't see him much throughout the race either.
No.
It was a very quiet race from him.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure there was some overtaking, but there was so much overtaking in there. I mean, with the differences in tyres and all that sort of thing, I don't think we can say flat out because someone did a couple of overtakes they deserve a B. He just had a very anonymous race. Good, but anonymous. So, yeah, nothing wrong. Just a bit meh.
Yeah, I'd say so.
P6. Oh, before I forget,
P6.
I'm going to put signs in NA.
Okay.
So he's already there. P6.
P6, Alonso, who started P4.
I'm not that impressed with his race today.
Yeah.
I mean, that
This was a
rejoin.
mistake.
Yeah, that rejoin. Going down 2 places. And that is including 2 people ahead of him DNFing. So it would have been 4 places down, effectively. No, wait, 1 person DNFing. 1 person getting sent to the back of the grid and then passing him.
I
Yeah.
He also didn't have the best strategy.
No.
It's a bit weird. But then again, I don't think it was a really strong. It wasn't a particularly good race from him.
Yeah. Hit me with a grade.
I think for me, either C or a low C plus.
I was thinking C minus or C, so I will meet you in the middle and go for a C.
Yeah.
But I think it's a weak C.
Yeah, like even for me, I said C plus. Like it would have been a very weak C plus. It's the weakest possible. I think.
Okay, we'll see how we come down with the rest of it. Next one, P7.
Ocon, who started P8.
C plus again. Much better than the sprint yesterday.
Yeah, he did fight quite well for positions as well.
He was one of the ones that didn't get a penalty in the end, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm happy with that. C plus, sort of alongside Leclerc.
I think it was really. He always seems to have these types of races where you don't really see him. Like he's there, but you don't really see him much.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you.
This was another one of those cases.
No, I'd agree with that. Next one, P8.
Bottas, who started P9. I must add, he started on a on a set of softs. Not sure whether it was used or not. Pitted under the safety car for mediums, and then had to do 2 stints on the hard tires. One of them, like the 18 laps on the hards, last one. I think his weekend was actually quite good overall.
Yeah, he's had some pace for the first time in ages. What would you say if I said a strong B?
You know what? I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah, it's not epic, but it's damn good. I think it's better than. I think for the machinery, it's better than Russell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm happy with that. Next one.
Right. So this one was quite impressive if you think about it. But let's see. So 9th was Joe Vanu, who started P19, finished P9.
Let's give him an A.
Honestly, I'd say so too.
So weak A.
He was running in the high points positions for quite a long time actually.
It's one of those where a quiet race has done him well, and he's gone up, what, 10 positions?
Yeah, he's gone up 10 positions.
Yeah. Reward the points that, in that machinery, where it's been a dog most of the year, so let him have it. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one, P10.
Checo
D.
started obviously in the pit lane.
I don't care, D.
Yeah, it was still pretty poor from him.
Being lapped by your teammate.
Limit penalties twice. Well, at the end he unlapped himself, but even then he was super close to getting lapped again. So
Yeah.
it was pretty bad.
Yeah, some good racing, which is the only reason why it's not an E.
Yeah.
But getting anywhere near lapped by your teammate when there was no incident directly affecting you, he's got to do something soon, otherwise he will lose that drive.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have an easy task by having to start on the pit lane and serving penalty there, I believe. But even then, that is still pretty... That's not great.
I think if we were to say, if Max were to start where he would have done, Max would have been in the top 5 by the end.
Yeah, I could say that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Next one.
Because then again, just to finish off with like his analysis, I think he also got overtaken by slower cars at numerous points during the race.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then P11, Lance Stroll, who started P16, was one of those drivers who also pitted under the safety car right at the start. Went from a set of mediums to another set of mediums. And then, just did 18 laps on the set of mediums at the end. He actually did less time on the hards than both sets of mediums.
Just
I don't know.
more pace in the tyres.
Yeah.
I was about willing to give him a C+, but then he started picking up penalties.
Yeah.
Call it equal to Alonso and move on. And it's not a terrible race from him. Sprint was god-awful. The qualifying was god-awful. But at least he's proving he can race.
Yeah.
Even if he can't qualify at the moment.
I don't know if it's... Well, we can put him in C, but I'm not sure if his performance was as good as Alonso's.
So how many penalties did he have in the end? 1 or 2?
That's what I was trying to think.
I think it was just the one.
Might have been one at least, yeah.
He went from P16 to P11.
Mm-hmm. With, well, a non-start into DNFs. Let's be real. As much as I think it was a good comeback compared to what he said, obviously what he did in qualifying in the sprint, he still finished. So 30-something seconds behind Alonso. I don't know. If you say a C, I'd put him behind Alonso. Or top of C minus.
I'm going to put him right between the two at the moment, but whoever goes in C is going to be between him and Alonso.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll put him in C minus for the meantime, just in case we don't get anyone else in C.
Okay.
Right, next one. P12.
Gasly, who started P7.
That was worse than I thought it was.
Sorry?
That was a lot... Oh, he had a penalty at the end, didn't he?
We had the penalty at the end, yeah. The thing is, if it wasn't for that penalty and the one he got on the lap, well, so he pitted, served the penalty that he had. Then on the very next lap, he got another penalty.
Yeah.
And then he had that move where he overtook someone off the track.
Which he gave back.
Sorry.
And they did...
He had to give back. It was a bit clumsy in that sense.
Yeah.
But it's a shame because I think his race was being quite good up until that point.
Yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag, isn't it?
Yeah. I think for all these things we kind of have to drop him a grade compared to what we'd normally give him. Those things haven't happened. I just still don't know which grade I would give him.
Yeah.
Watch yourself.
Well, it's weird because I think he had a good race, but his finishing position is really odd.
Yeah. he would have finished. Let me just see. Without the penalty, he would have finished just behind Joe, I believe. So he would have finished in the point. Also P10. Yeah.
Behind Joe.
Yeah. But saying that, he had a very weird strategy. He was called in super early on the first stint on the mediums. Then he did a couple less laps on the mediums than he did on the hards, just then to switch to another set of mediums.
Sounds like
Very
Alpine
weird
have
strategy.
Alpined him.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, because he had a slow pit stop, didn't he? Even when he served his first penalty, the pit stop was still like the pit stop would have been 4 seconds long anyway. As you can see, probably those extra couple of seconds would have put him ahead of Joe.
Should we put him with Stroll?
Yeah, I think, yeah. Just because of the incidents he had mostly.
Okay, next one.
Alex Albon started P13, finished P14.
Yeah, it's a shame. I think he was having a cracking race until he started picking up penalties.
Yeah. Pick up one, didn't he?
Yeah,
Was it more than one?
I think at least one. But he was also not very comfortable after the fuel load came down, which was weird.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to give him a C because he had a very strong first half of the race, which I was about ready to give him an A or a B, and it just dropped off. I think we have to view it in the same light as Russell. Would have been high, but I think his drop off was severe.
Yeah.
So C.
Yeah, I put him behind Gasly, but ahead of Stroll, for that matter.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Prototype says Pasta crashed Donado on top. No. Next one.
Kevin Magnussen started P18, finished P14. One of those, well, he was one of the other drivers. He started on the softs, pitted for the mediums, little safety car. I have a feel, well, he didn't do anything particularly spectacular, did he?
No, he was involved in some battles, but who wasn't?
Yeah. I don't think he got any penalties.
No.
Then he got.
Shall we put him in C?
Hmm.
Because he's had a solid race, nothing's gone wrong.
Yeah.
And he's had a nice clear one, whereas other people have been picking up penalties left, right, and centre.
Yeah. I think he had a bad pit stop at some point. So.
Possibly. Yeah, he's a difficult one to judge, that one. Right, next one.
Yuki Tsunoda started P11, finished P15.
He was really bright through most of the race, first half of the race, wasn't he? He was a bit like Albon.
Yeah, he went around the outside of Albon. His strategy was very weird. I think he was one of the drivers who did the less laps on that first stint on the mediums compared to all the others. For that matter, him and Ocon did the less amount of laps on the mediums.
Weird.
First stint. And then just did another set of mediums, probably stretched about like 3 to 4 laps more compared to the first one, and then he did 2 sets of hards. So
C minus.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because he still went backwards.
Yeah. I'm going to put him ahead of Stroll. Yeah, I just don't understand that one. Okay, next one.
Well, this one actually hurts me a little bit because it was quite. Well, in a way, he caused it, but then again, it was pretty harsh. Nico Hulkenberg, P16, started P14. Weird strategy as well.
He started P14.
Yeah.
Oh.
He gained a lot of places after that turn 1 carnage.
Yeah. Finished P60. I think race as a whole. Russell. All right, view it this way. Russell had a mistake and he was last after lap 1. Finished 4th. Hulkenberg had a 5 or 10 second penalty, and he never recovered.
Yeah, the pit stops didn't help either.
Yeah.
Thing is, his strategy is so weird.
I'm just going to trust you on that one. Grade-wise, what do you think?
I think we'd have to. Well, we're going. Where did we put game now?
C.
Is it in the C?
Mm-hmm. I was thinking one lower.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. T minus. Because I don't know. Put him in D rank. I think it's a bit too harsh.
He's done nothing stupidly wrong, but he's also in a house.
Well, you could argue that that mistake that gave him that 10-second penalty was a bit silly. But then again, he didn't put a foot wrong all race, and that has is awful in race pace.
Yeah. Okay, next one. I'm guessing it's going to be Lawson.
Lawson, yeah, started P17, finished P17. Look at his strategy.
Worst.
So he started on the softs, pitted for the hards under the safety car. Then, before lap.
Yeah, and
set of hards, and then a long stint on the mediums. I think he did a longer stint on the mediums than he did on the hards, on the both sets of hards he used.
Yeah, and I'm well aware of we don't have we have DeFreeze's picture. It's not updated itself yet. Don't worry about that prototype.
Yeah.
Liam did finish ahead of Yuki.
No,
he didn't.
finished behind.
Yeah. Are you looking at the sprint for yesterday prototype?
Me?
No, prototype. Japan. Japan? We're in Qatar. Anywho, honestly, for me, I think it's a C minus.
Same really. Because he finished 12 seconds behind Hulkenberg.
Yeah, he just didn't really. I think it's his weakest race so far, but
Yeah,
in a way, that's a good thing. I mean, that's a weak race. No problems. Sprint, he's yeeted himself off.
Yeah.
I mean, let's look at again. Who are the rookies here? I mean, Piastri. Okay, you can ignore him. Joe's his first time here. He's done very well as well. Whom else? It might be Albon's first. No, it's not. K-Mag.
Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Albon.
Sargent. Yeah, I think it's his weakest race of the mini season that he's done. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Right. Sargent.
So P15 obviously went out, but I think he was having a pretty solid race up until then, to be fair. It's close to Albon, didn't make any mistakes. Strategy again was a bit iffy until there.
I'm just going to say this right now. King of the C minus.
Yeah.
He's done fine.
Yeah, because then again, I think he still lost positions compared to, or if he gained a position, it was because of the two people ahead of him not starting.
Yeah. And he's done nothing wrong. I mean, if he's retired through illness, I'm not going to judge that. And he was doing fine. He's not made any problems. Prototype says crash twice in Suzuka, used T-car on race day. Who? Oh, Sergeant. We're not talking about Suzuka. We're in Qatar, mate, not Suzuka.
Yeah, we're not grading them their season so far. We're only grading them for this race.
Yeah. And last one, Lewis Hamilton out on lap 1, turn 1.
I think it was mostly his fault as to why he retired from the race.
It's a stupid little touch, isn't it? But
because he had a lot more space on the outside.
He did.
I think he was also a bit impatient since he was on the soft, so he wanted to make the most out of that.
It's an error, yeah. It's an error.
Just too ambitious from him. It's really uncharacteristic from him to be that impatient at the start. He's usually very calculated and he knows when to take risks and everything. But that was just a bit clumsy from him.
Agreed. I'm going to give him a grade because he's forced himself out. Lewis was on softs, you are correct, and Russell was on mediums. But Lewis has misjudged that. And it does look like, and as I did earlier on, when you see Russell is wheel forward to the right, looking right, and Hamilton's on his left, and he's come through and clipped him with his rear right wheel. Russell's not washing out like Hamilton did in Silverstone when him and Max crashed. Hamilton is coming across him in the same way that Verstappen was, without Lewis, or in this case Russell, washing out towards him. Lewis has been, like you say, Pedro, over eager.
Yeah.
I think he could have been P1 by the time turn 2 come round there. But that's his foul up.
Yeah.
So I think we have to grade him.
Should we put him in? Well,
I think it's a
you
D.
could argue for like an E or an F. But
I don't think it's worthy of an F, because it is a stupid little mistake. I mean, if he could have got away with that if it wasn't for the gravel trap.
Yeah.
And I think he was unlucky to have the damage he did. I do think it's an E though.
It's an E. Yeah.
He had a good start of anything, and that's how we got there. So if you look at it for his race being those 20 seconds, great shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a shame as what could have been for Mercedes today.
Yeah. Because like it looked like he had an amazing start. So.
Exactly that.
And Russell's pace was quite good, even though he didn't touch he touched the soft tires at the end. We are yet to know what caused him to have that massive drop off in pace.
Yeah.
But like, if Mercedes' pace was as promising as Russell was showing on his stints, like, I think I can say all stints really, apart from that last one. He was setting fastest laps even on the hard tires. So if the pace was that promising, then Hamilton could have really done quite well.
I agree. And I think with Russell, he's either fuel saving, turning something down for mechanical reasons, or just maybe he was even suffering from the heat. Don't know.
Yeah.
I do not know. I guess we'll find out. As Prototype just said, Toto smashing desks as usual. And Pedro, you might be able to answer a question on this one. I saw something in the sprint yesterday with Toto phoning in from England and congratulating the drivers for doing well. Apparently he's hurt his knees.
Oh.
Because both of them said, I hope your knees are okay. So I don't know if
I wondered why he wasn't with the team at the garage. But I didn't know.
Knee operation.
Was that okay.
Thanks, Prototype. I didn't know the answer, so that's pretty good of you. Okay, that explains it then. I thought he'd maybe broken his arm again with smashing the desks. Okay. Okay, well, at least that we now understand why he's not there. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
So obviously his wife has been battering him with a baseball bat again. Oh, bless Toto. Well, she's vicious. Have you met her? Give me an F1 drive. No. Whack. Okay.
I mean, she could have been an F1 driver, couldn't she?
Technically was. Practiced F1 driver, but I'm not going to get into that topic. Right. Rate the Grand Prix out of 10.
I don't really know.
Right, I'm going to put up my fingers on the count of 3.
I can see it. I can see it.
Well, I'll put up my fingers and I'll shout it afterwards.
Okay.
Okay? So you going to do the same?
I mean, I can do the same, yeah.
Go for it. So, get a figure in your head. On 3. 1, 2, 3. 8.
Well. I'm so decisive. Like, because I think it wasn't an average race. It wasn't an outstanding race.
I agree.
I'm struggling to remember which race we gave to races like.
Should have written this
Some
down.
of the previous races.
Should have
So
written
that I
it
can
down.
compare.
Well, I'm saying an 8 just because it was entertaining all round. And prototype
Yeah.
called paper, by the way.
Sorry.
Prototype called paper, rock, paper, scissors.
Oh. Well, you know what? Saying that,
You said set.
I can give it a solid 7. Actually, I'll change my grade. I'll change it to a solid 7.
I'm happy with that. I just thoroughly enjoyed it because it was entertaining all the way through, just for the action. Enjoyed it, and
Yeah.
there was at no point could we stop talking about what was going on.
True.
So
That is true, actually.
yeah, so I'm going to say it there.
I think having the mandatory pit stops as well kind of brought more variety onto the results.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Even though, the drivers had different strategies really across the race.
Yeah, otherwise Max would have one-stopped it and been gone. He would have. I mean, it would have been medium tyre all the way to about 10 laps to go, and he would have gone hard tyres just for shenanigans.
Yeah.
So, either way. I wouldn't like to see this kind of chaos every week, but it was damn fun. It felt like a sprint race in GP length.
Yeah.
So,
To be fair.
I'm happy with that. So, we'll call it an overall ranking of 7.5, even it out.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm happy with that. I'd watch it again, actually, just because I'm sure we missed something. And I do want to say it's better today for the production crew because they were god awful at the end of the sprint yesterday.
At the sprint, yeah.
Yeah, we missed so much in the last lap or two, which it's a hard job. There's a lot going on for absolute sure.
Yeah.
But they
Not
missed
easy by any means.
tons. So, fantastic. Right. I'm going to say we should leave it there.
Yeah. I'm just going to say, I'm very confused as why I graded this race a 6 from the start. I don't know. I'm glad I just changed it to a 7. I think that's more.
As long as you're happy, that's all I care about. And as Prototype says, 18 laps for tyres, pit stop window. Very weird, but it's the way it worked out. But, yeah. Well, Carlos Sainz had a day off for holiday. So, we'll see him again. What's the next race?
It's Qatar in 2 weeks' time, I believe.
Okay, so an actual... Okay, interesting track. Okay, I like Qatar, but we'll see what it does for F1. I mean, it's going to be Red Bull strong again.
Is it the sprint race weekend again?
Don't know. Do not know. But on that note, I'm going to say we're going to leave it there.
Yeah.
And we'll get into doing predictions properly. What we might have to do is start posting them on Twitter and whatnot. And I'll talk to Sarah about it. And we'll go from there. But it's been a pleasure doing it was the Grand Prix qualifying, the sprint race, and the Grand Prix with yourself this weekend. And we'll be back for some more, no doubt.
Yeah, and obviously it was a shame that Sarah couldn't be here tonight.
I'm sure she's having fun with the BTCC.
Yeah, I'm happy for her in that sense because I know she's probably having fun anyway.
Exactly.
But yeah, but just thank you for the opportunity again of letting me take part in this. It was a highly intense race-related weekend. I still enjoyed it quite a lot.
Likewise. Of course, we'll be back on Saturday night with the pre-GP again. And it's a track that I actually will know, so I won't be spending 2 or 3 hours learning the track beforehand. So I'm hoping to have a bit more pace there. I'm hoping to have a bit of fun with it. And I look forward to it. Is it next week or week after?
No, I think it's in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks'
the
time.
20th to the 22nd.
So
I'll have to check.
It'll be Qatar, then probably Mexico. And then is it like Interlagos back to Vegas?
Let me give it a look. I think you're right. Yeah, it is exactly that. Qatar, Mexico, Interlagos.
That was a good guess, wasn't it?
Las Vegas.
And then what's after that? Is it Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the end.
Well, I'll pull that out somewhere. I do not have the calendar up in front of me. Right. Cool. I'm going to call that 7.5 out of 10. Enjoyed that. We'll watch again probably. And I'm going to send a raid to Hawko for those on Twitch. So for everyone who's been on YouTube, please feel free to give the podcast a like. This has been the F1 RST podcast, so first. And yeah, we've had some fun. Feel free to give the Pedro a follow.
Thanks.
You can check out the link tree and it will take you straight there. And otherwise, yeah, the Miss Sarah Hawkey as well. But yeah, for those on my YouTube, please give it a follow and whatnot. There's more content coming on YouTube soon. It is being worked on. So, and yeah, fire at that red Corvette for the raid. Let's do that. I missed that red. I'll be able to, when we do our GT Sport day, I'm going to be firing at that Corvette every single race. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know that.
So we're going to do the most twisty, tightest track ever, Corvette. Don't care. I'm racing the Corvette. But on that note, let's go to Hawko. Wish him some good luck and
Yeah,
some GT7ing, and catch you all later. It's a pleasure.
yeah. Stay well, everyone.
Bye.